Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to do something semi-interesting today that I had a fun little idea of, is kind of approaching this national championship game from Dan Hurley's perspective. So we're going to look at some press conference clips or some post-game press conference clips about what UConn's game plan was, and then compare that to what the actual game footage was. Let's go.
After they made their 1 3-pointer, you hopped off the bench and called a timeout. I know you were in quite a lather that, but I mean, was that specifically about like making sure this doesn't become a trend?
Well, that was a late clock mistake. Braden had it with 3 on the clock, and he used the ball screen. And in such a late shot clock situation, like Donovan needed to get up there high and eliminate the attempt. But
all right, so this is the clip in particular we're talking about. We're watching Braden Smith, and he's going to go off a Zach Edey ball screen here in a second. So the first thing to notice is we got 6 seconds on the shot clock right here. And so this is this late shot clock that Dan Hurley's talking about. And so they're going to change their coverage essentially. If it's early or in the shot clock, essentially Klingon's going to drop back more to protect the threat for Edey. But essentially what he's saying is with 5 or 4 or 3 seconds on the shot clock, Zach Edey doesn't have time to roll all the way to the rim and be a threat. And so he wants Klingon, instead of dropping back here, to be more up here, because the only real person that can score because of late shot clock is Braden Smith. So he wants him to get a hand up there. And we can see that Klingon drops back a little bit. You can actually see that Dan Hurley actually puts his hand up right here because he wants a hand up because he knows that the only threat is Braden Smith, but he doesn't get that hand up.
This one's for Cam. There was a moment there, Cam, sorry, right here in the middle. There was a moment there where I think you got a foul called on you and you were maybe looking for a jump ball or something, and you were running around and coach kind of calmed you down, kept you from maybe getting a tee or something like that. I'm curious, how often is that going in that direction and not you guys having to calm coach down about not going too nuts on the sideline?
Yeah, I think we're two similar personalities, but I was going for the offensive rebound and felt like I had the ball, and just heat of the moment reaction. But luckily I have coach to have my back and calm me down, because I probably would have gotten a technical if I didn't calm down. So yeah.
This is the clip we're talking about here. First off, we can see that UConn has a 13-point lead. And so one big thing is when you have a 13-point lead, you really want to make sure that you're controlling the game from there on out. And so as this goes up, it looks like a good job, frankly, from Cam. It looks like he got all ball there, but he's upset. You really don't want him to make some kind of game-changing decision here. Something like getting a tee or doing something that's going to show that you're upset. You just want to stay calm in the moment. You're up by 13. Keep it controlled, keep riding the wave that you're on.
We obviously, we didn't want to give up threes. We didn't care if Zach, took 25, 28 shots to get 30, 35 points. This whole game plan was like, no Smith, no Lawyer, no Gillis, no Jones. Keep that collective group under 18, 20 points as a group. They had no chance to win, no matter how well Zach played.
Yeah, I mean, we knew he was going to get his points, and it took him 25 shots to get 37 points. So that was the game plan, just limit the guards, and Steph, Cam, House, when he got in there, they did great jobs on the guards, and limiting them and their impact.
Yeah, obviously, coming in, we knew Zach Edey's a tough guy to stop. We wanted to make him work for everything, but I think the coaches made a point that we'd be really locked in if we could control their 3-point attempts, and I think holding them to 7, we were really just locked in on not letting those other guys get involved in the game, and I think Steph and Tristan and all the guards did a great job.
All right, so now we're going to watch 2 clips talking about this not giving up threes that UConn seemed to really emphasize. And this is actually interesting because I didn't particularly agree with this. My philosophy would have been the exact opposite. But here we can see that Zach Edey's on the inside, and we're going to see that Newton is locked up, Castle is locked up, Caravan's locked up, and Spencer's getting out to his player as well. They are essentially letting it one-on-one on the inside, and that is a shot that essentially they want to encourage because he's not going to do that all game. And so the 2 reasons why I wouldn't have had this strategy, and Purdue didn't really capitalize on this, so it didn't matter, is 1, I guess, in my theoretical world, I wasn't worried about, or I wasn't thinking that our defense had Klingon. And because Klingon's such a good, he's a big athletic post defender, one of obviously the best in college. And so him matching up with Edey is going to be better than just about anyone else. But 2, I don't know why Purdue didn't essentially keep going to this and try and get Klingon in foul trouble, because there's a huge drop off after that, and UConn would have to change their entire game plan. So I don't really know why Purdue didn't do that, but this was essentially what UConn's talking about. We got Zach Edey on the inside. Everyone else is staying home to those shooters. Says Klingon is a grown man. He's going to be able to win that battle enough that we're going to be efficient on the other end. And frankly, they were 100% right.
I mean, we watched their film and they get their 3-pointers off. People going down there and helping on Edey. The coaches did a great job game planning and made sure that there was a focus on that we didn't leave the 3-point line and let Edey do all his damage because he only shoots 2s, he shoots no 3s. So if he makes 15 twos like he did today, that's 30, and then where the rest of the points gonna come from. So they did a great job of scouting and credit to them.
And then for this don't help philosophy, we can see it applied even not just to when Klingon's the one guarding Edey, but also when you have Caravan down here. Their same mentality with the guards. You're staying home with the shooters. Don't even worry about them. Let them try and shoot difficult shots down here. And it worked for UConn.
Talk about your guys on the ball pressure, just relentless throughout the whole game, and how you made it so daunting for those guys to basically get any shot up.
Stefan, can you take that one, please?
I feel like our post defense started with, pressuring the ball and just trying to limit, just easy catches for Edey. So, I feel like our coaches did a great job with the scout, and I feel like we executed it well, and it worked out for us.
And this, I think, is super, super important, talking about the ball pressure, because I think Braden Smith is more of he's a shooter that is forced to be a point guard because they don't have really a point guard, and he's not the most athletic, just frankly individual, and Castle's going to really, really be way more athletic than him, frankly. And so getting him up on the ball puts so much more pressure on him. And then across the board, because no one on Purdue really handles the ball extremely well, you're really going to have a lot of success and really force them into more difficult situations, eat time off the clock. We can see that there's pressure across the board. And I love this strategy from UConn. I absolutely 100% agree with it.
We'd like to congratulate Coach and thank him for all the time he spent here in the main interview room all week. Not a lot of mobility on Zagoria.
Whoa! Almost hit the trophy, man.